Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to the live. Tap like, let the algorithm know you're getting something from the live. Appreciate you, Rashawn. What up, Alicia? We missed you at the meeting. It's been a while. I think you might have been at the last meeting. I wasn't there, but we had a good time today. Thank you all for tapping like. Back again to raise your consciousness. My name is Brother Legend. Appreciate you, Alicia. My name is Brother Legend. I am not a TikToker, but I be on TikTok. We are going to have a conversation today discussing the ethics, the morality behind the institution of marriage in the context of racism, white supremacy. Can marriage interracially in the context of Black oppression be something that benefits Black people? As always, when you come up, we're going to ask you your age, race, and pronouns. For today's discussion, pro-Blackness is defined as prioritizing one's actions and values with what align, I think there's a typo in there, but what aligns with the best interests of empowering the Black community. There's a typo in there. Typo in it. Prioritizing one's actions and values with what align in the best interests of empowering the Black community. I might have to fix that typo, to be honest. I don't really like that that's messed up like that. What's going on? What up, what up? I'm gonna be fixing that while I'm here. Peace, Bubba. Life is a beach. What up, what up? I got a question for y'all. Can anti-racism be taught? Can anti-racism be taught? And if so, how do we teach it? If racism is a global system that influences all 10 areas of people activity, how can we teach a racist not to be racist anymore? How can we teach them to not colonize? How can we teach them to use inclusive banking practices, share resources or return resources back to where they were stolen? Yes, Bubba. I mean them. Black people, we don't need to learn anti-racism. We need to learn self-love. Can it be taught? The definition of pro-Blackness on this live has a typo in it. I'm going to fix that. But in the meantime, thank y'all for tapping like, tapping like. Yes, we can. Islam. Islam is teaching anti-racism. Is Islam teaching anti-racism? Let me know. Let me know. If that's the case, that's a religion I need to get down with. Sounds like I need to get down with Islam. You're telling me they teaching anti-racism. Would the East Africans agree? Do the East Africans indigenous to Africa, do they agree that anti-racism is being taught by the people that follow the prophet? Let me know. All right, Rohan, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm 28 years old. I'm a black male, and I'm him, he.
All right, talk to us.
Yeah, I was just alerted by the about the topic you got up, because I mean personally I do have a white fiance.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
Should I not be?
I asked why.
I think that'd be obvious.
But could you explain, elaborate why?
I don't answer
That's a blank
questions.
statement.
I don't answer questions, I ask them. So tell us what you think about the topic.
But I just asked you to elaborate. Why is that? Why are you sorry?
Go ahead, talk to us about the topic. I'm not going to answer questions.
All right, I guess.
I mean, I'm proud of being black. Me personally, I do not. I prefer white females because I want someone to submit to me, and it's very
Wait,
rare.
whoa. You want someone to submit to?
I need someone to submit to me. That's what I'm saying.
You sure you didn't just say you want someone to submit to?
No,
Are you
I did
sure?
not say that. I said I need someone to submit to me. Come on, brother, don't do that.
You said we don't submit to anybody.
I said I don't submit to anybody.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, and black women they don't submit. So it's hard to be with a black woman.
How do you know black women don't submit?
Because they're aggressive. That's why most of them are single and suck with the baby.
So they don't submit, and is that all you look for in a relationship?
I mean, it's the main main necessity in a relationship.
So that's the main thing you look for, is a woman
Absolutely.
that will submit.
Absolutely.
And out of
Me as a dominant male, I'm not gonna try to submit to anybody.
Yeah, right. So out of 950 plus million black women on the planet, you're saying that you haven't found one that would tickle your pickle?
Again, I never said that I'll never date a black woman. I said I prefer white women.
And why do you prefer a white woman?
Like I said, they submit.
White women, do you submit? Are there any white women in the comments? Are you all submissive?
Well, the ones that I have or had and have right now.
It seems like white men would disagree with you.
I don't see any white men disagreeing.
I'm not talking about in the comments. I mean, on Fox News, they disagree with you. But in the comments, white women, are you all submissive?
People are saying they do.
I see the white women saying ew.
A lot say yes. I see a lot of yeses.
I don't know. Do y'all see a lot of yeses? I see white women saying nope, I'm respectful. I see another white woman named Sherry saying no. There's cheers.
Those are bots. Those aren't real people. Those are bots.
Okay, so anyone that disagrees with you is a bot.
You keep putting words into my mouth.
I see black men saying yes. It's just kind of weird that black men would even answer that question. I just asked it to white women. So I think that's a little of you brothers, but okay. Um, so you're saying that there's no generalization happening here. You met every black woman and couldn't find one to tickle your pickle.
Like I said, I prefer white women because all of them do submit, and absolutely all the ones I've been with have submitted. So I guess I'm pretty lucky.
And what does a woman do to show you her submission?
Like when I come back from work and food on the stove. When I say I'm tired, she gives me what I want. She just doesn't require. Like if I tell her to do something, the answer should be yes.
Like a slave.
Not really like a slave.
I mean, what you just described there was slavery. So I'm confused.
That's not slavery. That's submission.
That's what women did during slavery. So you want a slave?
I'm not asking for a slave. I mean, it's at her will. If she doesn't want to, okay.
So you want someone that's submissive when they want to be submissive, but when they're not submissive, they're still submissive?
What are you trying to say?
You said they do what you say. So I'm confused. If you want someone, do you want someone that does what you say, or do you want someone that does what they want? Because you can't have both, right?
I mean, if someone does what I'm going to give them, well, what I'm trying to say is that if I give them an order to do, go clean whatever, and they say yes, that's being submissive. That's submitting to me. Right away, they say yes. That's submission.
Like a slave. Like you give slaves an order and they do it.
Brother, do you understand submission?
Do you understand slavery?
That's not slavery.
Are you paying them?
I mean, I could kind of tell you're not really a dominant male. The way you think. Them? Excuse me?
Do you pay these women?
Why would I pay them?
Because if you pay them, it wouldn't be slavery.
Well, to be fair, the woman I have right now, I don't even make her work. I don't make her work. She does not work. She stays at home and keeps the house for me while I go out and work.
Let's see. And so she does what she wants.
What do you mean she does what she wants? Elaborate.
She does what she wants, and you do all the working, and she does whatever she wants. When you tell her you're hungry,
that's not true.
She tells you to go order McDonald's because she doesn't have to cook, right?
Listen, that's not true. When did I ever say that? First of all,
I'm asking you a question. I'm not making
what I'm trying to say is that I'm in such a high up job. I don't want her to work. I do not want her to work. I'd rather her keep the house good for me. Because maybe in the future, when we have some kids, she could be really useful with that too.
So she doesn't. You think part of how you want to use her is to have children, because that would make you someone useful is if you can use them, right? So that sounds an awful lot like slavery.
How was that slavery? You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Please explain the point to me.
Like what I'm trying to say is that, listen, I want her to be a housewife.
Sure you don't want to be a house slave?
A housewife.
Okay, so what's the difference?
A submissive housewife.
A submissive housewife. Okay. So what's the difference between a submissive housewife and a house slave?
You tell me.
I'm not the one saying this. You tell me.
I asked you, tell me.
So you got nothing?
No, I do, but I want to hear your side.
No, you don't. I want to hear your side. I'm the only one that asks questions on this live. You fail to like.
So how are we gonna have a discussion if I can't ask any questions?
You can leave if you don't want to answer my questions.
I'll
I think
drop.
I think everyone here would prefer it,
I'll
if you
drop.
be honest.
I'll drop. Bye. All right.
Weirdo. How you gonna say something and then not be able to qualify it, and then act like I'm supposed to define it for you? Shout out to everybody that sent the Panther pause. Thank you very much. What a weirdo, right? What a sicko. I don't know where he got validated to feel like he could say all of that. I doubt he makes as much money as he claims. I highly doubt that is someone that makes a lot of money. What's going on, Life is a Beach?
Hey, brother legend. I came up here. What was that? What was that? Who raised him is what I want to know. But I just popped up here to number one, tell you hello and so I'm gonna it's life, 54, she, her, and can you be pro black and have a white spouse? You know my feelings on this, definitely not. You definitely not can be and it's just so disheartening to see our brothers and sisters on this app, and you actually opened my eyes because I really didn't understand that we had so many of us cooning and shuffling and just crazy, just crazy. I don't even. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like this in all my days.
Yeah.
You see, I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words, and it is crazy to me. It's like, who's raising these people,
Nobody.
And no, honestly, I know, and that's my question. Like, who's literally raising these people out here thinking love is love? They see how these people are treating us. Our sister just got pew-pewed in the face. Brother Alton Sterling, all our brothers and sisters being just cut down, their lives being cut down in the street, and they out here jumping in the bed with these enemies. I'm just not understanding it. And I don't even see how they validate it, how they're okay with it. How can they stick their key in a door and open it up and look at them every day? I'd be mad to just have to go to work and look at them. Less known to be married to one. No, I'm just keeping it real. I'm gonna be married to one. I get mad every time I see them in the grocery store. Anytime I see one, I'm mad. So I know damn well I ain't about to marry one. I don't care if they did nothing or they didn't do nothing. They're a part of what was done, right? And they're benefiting. So just like you say, it's unethical. It doesn't make sense. I don't like it, But you know what it is? It's that selfishness. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Those people that do that, they have very low character about themselves. They're selfish. And they don't have any care. I wouldn't even want to hang out with them anyway. Because they don't have no backbone. They'll lay down. They just like a rug. They'll lay down like a rug, and they want to be skinning and grinning in these people's face who don't even like them, can't stand them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let me tell you something. What they need to realize, if everything goes down and things go down, that person ain't gonna be outside fighting with them like them comrades we talk about. No, they're not. They're gonna be trying to run for cover and go with their prospective people, and then they're gonna want to come run to us and want to be protected. Hell no, go on over there. You can't have it both ways. No, you can't have it both ways. And not just that, I just don't understand. I don't understand. You know what? And I'm gonna be quiet after this here. I believe they so crazy. They'll probably get out there and try to fight the real black people with the KKK. That's just how crazy they are. And you know what, brother? I'm going to go back down here. Well, you know what? Can I stay up on the panel in case I want to say something else? But I'm going to be quiet for now.
Yeah, you can stay up
All
here.
right, thank you.
Appreciate you. Tom Dude, give us your age, race, and pronouns. Tom Dude. You're muted, sir. Or ma'am.
Oh, how's it going, man? Sorry about that. No, I'm 28. YT, he, him.
All right, talk to us.
I guess I just came up because the last guy before this lovely lady came up. I don't know. I was confused on kind of some of the stuff you were saying to him. I'm just trying to get an overall like kind of get a better understanding like what your whole topic is. I'm not like gonna come up here and be an a-hole or anything. I just wanted a better understanding on like the whole topic itself.
I don't answer questions on my live, but what were you confused about?
Like you were saying, like he has I'm assuming he has a YT wife and she stays at home and takes care of the house, but you were saying she was a slave. I was kind of confused about that.
So, do you agree that all white women are submissive?
No.
Why do you say no? Oh, looks like you got a coffee mug. Thank y'all for tapping like. Keep tapping like. Thank y'all for tapping like. If your lips are thicker than a Snicker, if you can see your lips when your mouth is closed, please tap like. If you can do this and still see your lips, tap like. If the palm of your hand does not match the bottom of your wrist, you know what I'm saying? If you can see like where the palm starts and where the wrist ends, then I need you to tap like. If you can see these lines on your hand, if you can see lines on your hand, then I need y'all to share the live. Tap like.
Oh, my brother, legend. How you feeling? Hold on.
All right.
I hear you, son. My fault. I was in daddy mode. But peace and blessings to y'all. I seen the question and just wanted to answer real quick. I don't want to be up here for too long. But I used to think, way back when. Okay, son. Shh. I'm on the phone. I used to think that no one can be pro-black and still have a white spouse. I thought it was kind of redundant in a sense. Zahir, stop yelling. I still kind of do think that, but at the same time, I'll just say it like this. You can be pro-black with a white spouse. Is just seriously about the things that you preach about when it comes to white supremacy or anything of that nature, in my opinion. Because I use this analogy. I don't like onions, right? I hate onions. But if you see me full-blown conversation about how I hate onions and then be like, let's go to Outback Steakhouse and get a blooming onion, you're going to look at me crazy. You're going to question all the things that I just said about the onions and how much I hate onions. Zahir.
We can barely
So
hear
that's my one thing. Zahir, come here. Sorry, I'm still in daddy mode, but yeah, it's hard to take people seriously who talk about white supremacy and all the negative things that has happened because of that. Hold on, and you still be going home to a white spouse. Like, you promote black love and black families, but you don't have a black family or a black spouse yourself. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of iffy to me.
So what happens when pro-blackness means kicking all white people out of the continent of Africa and you married one? What do you do?
Say that one more time for me.
What happens like in South Africa where pro-blackness means kicking all white people out of the continent of Africa and you're married to one?
Hey, that is it. Zahir. Okay, look, I can't answer that question. My son is on 10 right now, but
All right.
I'm gonna be in the chat. Appreciate you for letting me up, though, brother. I'm a follower. I like what your content. I like what you talk about. But thank you.
All right. Peace, brother.
Peace, brother. Zahir.
All right, we're gonna let somebody else up. Don't forget to send up the request if you want to answer the question up above. Send up the request. AJ, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Yes, sir. 26 pronoun, I guess. He, him.
Your race?
Black. Cameroon.
Okay. Shout out to Cameroon. Talk to us.
Well, I believe you can still be. And a lot of the stuff I see in the comments is honestly blatant racism for someone else, which, you know, to each their own. But I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. They do the same to us. So I'm kind of lost as to what we're hoping to gain by doing the same back. Or as
What did they do
MLK
to
said.
us? What did they do to us?
Exactly what they're saying in the comments is just blatant racism, discrimination. It gets us nowhere. Hate doesn't fight hate. It just creates more problem.
Okay, so do you think racism is about hate?
I would say,
Find the definition of racism and tell me where it says hate is required. I'll
I
wait.
personally don't believe hate. That I don't know. I just know that from what I'm seeing, it's just hateful to just keep doing this back and forth stuff. I see it on many lives, either with white people or black, or in this.
I understand
I
your
don't get
Christian
it.
sentiments and moralities tell you to fight hate at every corner. I get it. But let's move out of the emotional realm and let's speak on logic, okay? I want to keep this conversation in logic. Emotions are subjective and it's something that you can paint either way. You understand? If I, smack my wife, then you could say that was hatred. But if we're making love and that's what she likes to do, then you could say it was love. It's all subjective on whether or not something is hateful or not. And to say that what black people want to do in their best interest is the same as, 400, 500 years of colonization, slavery, mass incarceration, redlining, segregation, to like all the different ways that racism has impacted black people for hundreds of years, to say that they're just as hateful because they want to prioritize loving themselves and people in their own community is where you lose me. So I understand the hate thing, but let's speak on logic. Let's speak on what happens. How has black hate impacted negatively the lives of white people?
How has black hate? You mean on our end? How have we impacted them?
Yes, how has black hate negatively impacted the lives of white people?
Uncle Ruckus much. Sure, I'll be that. But let's see. I don't know. That's something I would have to research on. I can't say
So
firsthand.
why are you up here shouting down black hate and defending white people when they named your
It's no defending white people. One,
Yes, you are, because then who are you defending?
It's just I don't see the point in this whole all this.
There's
All
a
it
lot of
does is
things
just
that are
create this.
pointless. There's a lot of things that are pointless. What's the point?
It creates the same. It's just a cycle.
All right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how has the cycle been so negative that you need to come up here and tell us what to do?
No one said what to do.
Why are you
Not once
coming
did I say
on my live with this fake cycle that you're saying is hurting someone and you can't even tell me how it's hurting them?
When did I say it was hurting somebody? Now you're putting words in my mouth.
All right. Yeah, just go ahead, bro.
Dude, you said he was okay. 'Cause, yeah, I was about to say that didn't make no damn sense.
When people can't back what they're saying, they start to get really into the words and the semantics. When you know you came up here to defend white people and say that black hate is having a negative impact. He didn't say that. He's just, the cycle just keeps going of hate. And like, bruh, the name of your country is Cameroon. Cameroon was a French word that means shrimp, because they used to come to the coast and get shrimp. They got so much shrimp that they named your country Shrimp. That's the reason why the name is in French and it means shrimp, because they colonized y'all and had y'all getting shrimp for them. And you want to say that us choosing to be with each other is just as problematic and hateful as colonizing a whole region of Africa and naming y'all after a food. What are we talking about right now? Anyway,
Part right
did you
there.
have something to say?
That part right there.
No, because I literally was about to say some stuff that probably wouldn't have been correct to say. But yeah, that was, I already knew when, I don't know who put him up, but when I already saw the comments he was making in the comment sections, I knew he was about to be a problem and come in with some nonsense that made zero sense because at what point in time in history has anything that we have said or done caused anything financially to be detrimental to them, health wise, money
He didn't even have an
wise,
answer to that.
anything? He has nothing to say to that, but you're being hateful. You're being hateful. Why? Like, okay, so yeah, if that's hate by sitting here saying something that's fact, then okay, do you, boo boo? It can be hateful to, if that's what you consider hate. If you don't think hate is being profiled, and I'm pretty sure you being a black male, you get profiled, you probably the type that probably don't tap dance and think that's gonna be okay and get you out of stuff, but I can't deal with people like that. I'm sorry. I ain't in the mood for it today.
Yeah.
And to have somebody
Educate
with
yourself.
your
Just
skin,
educate yourself.
and to have somebody with our skin have the nerve, since we landed here on this soil, we've been taking it on the chin, turning the other cheek, not doing anything. And he got the nerve to say, keep on not doing anything. And that's where it goes back to, who the hell raising these people? Ain't got no backbone. I mean, just no vertebrae. What the hell? Got the nerves to
Yeah.
tell us,
Well,
don't
there are
lay down like a rug and keep getting walked on like a rug. And you wrong for saying something. He done lost his whole damn mind.
Yeah, there are certain places in Africa where honestly, when he said he was from Cameroon, I had a red flag in my head, but I was hoping it would be, a brother that was B1, but I certain places in Africa, the mental anguish, the mental trauma that they've been through is so great that you can almost predict what their answer is going to be.
He was B1 with
But
them.
let me go to
That
the next.
was.
Yeah. Let me go to the next guest. Noob, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hey man, I'm 33 and I'm white. He, him pronouns. First thing I want to say is I'm not trying to defend white people in any kind of way. Like I completely understand that. Like me entering this conversation is already kind of it's got some overtones to it, but with the question you asked, can you be pro-black and have a white spouse? I just feel like that it's the content and the quality of the pro-black person who's like, it depends on what they're doing. Like you can't control who you love, and there's lots of great pro-black activists that have white spouses and stuff like that.
Why can't you control who you love?
Because you just don't control who you fall in love with, the person that you connect with, the person that I mean, a lot, like, if you're pro-black and you're out there looking for a white spouse just because that's what you think you need, then that's definitely a problem. Like, if you're going out and looking for a certain type of person that you want to be with, and you have all these guidelines for it, and race is a specific one of them, then maybe, like, I don't know, like, you might be missing out on the person that really truly compliments somebody, or the person that you really love. Like, you can't control that. You can't control who you fall in love with.
Why can't you control who you fall in love with?
The, I really don't know how to answer that question. All I know is that
What is
when it
love?
comes to that kind of thing, like you learn about the person, you spend time with this person, like this. Hopefully, this person becomes your friend before you like really go after like and try to make this person your partner. Like I don't know. At least that's the way it worked for me. It's the way that
Okay, all right,
I
Dr. Phil.
understand
Listen,
love.
hey,
The
listen,
purest
listen,
version of
listen.
love.
I hate it when they just monologue over me when I'm trying to ask. We're trying to keep the live on topic, my friend. All right, we this ain't Dr. Phil. So when we're talking about love, talking about people's inability to control who they love. Some people, especially in America, I could speak on that the most because I'm the most knowledgeable to hear. But some people are less married than others. So if no one can control who they love and they just look at someone and feelings ignite, then why are there some people less married than others? You would think if no one can control it, everybody would be married at an equal rate. Would you not? Now you can talk, noob. You're muted.
Well, I mean, yes, there are some people that are less married, but I still think that comes down to whether or not that was the person they wanted to be with or that was the person that they just got with because it felt right at the time. I mean, people are in love and then fall out of love. Like, it's... That doesn't...
Do you think
it
marriage
also
is
doesn't
about
really
feelings?
seem like that's on topic to... Huh?
It's not. Yeah, the topic
Sorry,
is
what?
about marriage, not love. But the topic is about marriage, not love. Do you believe that marriage is
Okay.
about love?
I think that in a perfect world, marriage is about love, but no, marriage is a societal system that we have encoded into our laws. It's really now more it's about tax breaks and making sure that everything is codified like to whatever the government insists that you codify things to. Like, I don't think that marriage equals love, but I think that when you love someone and you decide to marry them, I don't understand why that has to, diminish their pro-blackness if a
Define
black
pro-black for me.
activist supporting and lifting up black content creators, black people, black institutions, black rights, just promoting what we considered what I have the privilege of understanding as basic human rights, and just making that available for not only just black people, but all people.
Okay, so pro-blackness is advocating for the rights of all people.
I think in the grand scheme, yes, but pro-blackness is also specifically focused on dealing with black issues.
Okay, so which one is it?
But it's both. One like a thing can be several things at a time. Like, it is focusing on specifically black issues, but it's also when those black issues get elevated and get resolved, which I'll be honest, man, it's not like we have a good track record of doing that. But
Who's we?
it's still white people.
Okay.
But when those issues do get resolved in some kind of positive way for the black community, it does benefit everybody. It's not just black people that benefits. I feel like this is a strong fight that everybody needs to get behind. And I don't see the problem with somebody who is living in that black activist world and doing the work, doing good work, should
So
be
you're saying
criticized for having a white
pro-blackness
spouse.
is advocating for the rights of black people, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? The car drove by.
You're saying that pro-blackness is advocating for the rights of black people, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and that wasn't a trick question, noob. All right, so
all right, fair enough.
all right, so that being the case, who are they advocating to?
Well, they're not only advocating to other black people, but they're trying to advocate to other races that are basically suffering
Oppressing them?
from the same institutions that are oppressing black people. They're also oppressing a lot of other people too. It's just that
I know. I didn't say who are they advocating on behalf of, which is, I get it. You must be a Democrat. You sound like Kamala Harris. You paint us all with just one broad stroke, just all people of color, everybody. We're talking about pro-blackness. We're talking about black people. But
I'm
all right. So hold on. I understand. All right. So listen, we're talking about who are they advocating to? Like, who do they have to go to advocate for these rights? Because someone must be stopping these rights from these human rights from being in the black community. So what people group do they have to advocate to on their own behalf?
Probably upper middle class whites, but it's kind of a hard question to answer.
Okay, so you're saying pro-blackness.
Can I finish my statement real quick and then?
I just want you to answer the question. I don't want you to give us too much thoughts because you're going to run on.
I thought I did, but maybe I got a lot to learn, man. I'm trying here. Ask the question again.
So you answered it. I mean, you were saying that pro-blackness is advocating for black people's rights. Advocating to white people for black people to have basic human rights, like advocating going to white spaces, I guess, and advocating saying that black people want human rights.
Okay. Well, what I meant by that is the voting class you probably have to turn the most in order to assure that. I mean, if you want to go through the voting system, I think there's other operations that could be more effective. But if you want to go through activism and promoting that and trying to get it passed, you definitely have to go through upper white class.
Why is that?
Because they're the ones who hold all the power.
Are they the ones that vote for the people in power?
They're the ones who pay the people that get the people on the voting blocks and make sure that they're.
Are you sure? Because last I checked,
in the world,
there's a lot of grassroots Republicans.
Yeah, but they're all getting a lot of money from upper white class. Like the money isn't coming from the grassroots. Yes, Trump has got a lot of money off of grassroots.
And he won with 57% of America, and it wasn't all rich people that voted for him. There's not enough. There's not enough rich people
actually
to
an
even.
Anomaly that stands out.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, I'm just trying to make sure that what you're saying is black people need to go to white people. Like pro-blackness is black people going to white people and begging massa for human rights.
That's not what I said. And if you had like what I said when you first asked that question, I think that a decent tactic would be to try to convince them, but it obviously hasn't worked for decades.
So what do you think we should do?
What I said first off was that you have to go out and energize black communities as well as lower class white communities as well as lower class other like ethnic communities to try to come together. to try to vote as one, to try to do something. And then if
Try to
voting
vote.
doesn't work,
Okay.
I
Vote.
guess
Okay.
that there's other options available that I can't really talk about on TikTok.
Okay, so we got to vote.
Like,
We got to vote. That's what you're saying. So that's just the problem is we haven't been voting. Is that what you're saying?
no, that, man, I don't, like, I'm trying to, you know, I don't know. This is becoming very confrontational,
It's okay to not
and that's
know.
not what I wanted. Like, and yeah, I don't,
Do you feel
I don't know
attacked?
the specifics. I know how I feel. I know that I want to go out and just do a lot of damage to some people, but I can't do that and
Why not?
keep my family together. I can't do that and
Are
go
you married
away.
to a black woman?
I am not.
Okay.
I live in one of the whitest places in America, and I can't help that. I can't help where I was born. I don't have the money to get out.
Brother Legend.
All I can do is talk to people.
Hold on,
All I
Noob.
can do is try to push this.
Okay, we know, Noob. What's up, sister?
I just wanted to ask him one quick question. You see, Knob, how uncomfortable you are with this interchange between you and Brother Legend? And then go back and look at the question above. So just imagine, we know you're not married to a black woman, but imagine having the same conversation with this so-called black woman you love if you had a black wife. Do you see now? Do you see? That's a question, and I'm pausing for your response.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much. Like I do see how this is uncomfortable. I'm just trying, and that's the thing. Like I came here to learn and to discuss a little bit and
We
show
want
you
you
guys
here.
where I'm at and
We want you
and
here
maybe try
so
to
we
learn.
can learn.
Sorry.
No. We don't want to teach you nothing. We want to learn on here. On this live, we learn from white people. We want to hear what y'all talk about when we're not around. And it sounds like if you're from a white neighborhood, then you know a lot about what they say about us when none of us are in the room. Are you a racist, Noob?
Absolutely not. Now, that being said, I have grown up around racism. There has been a time when I was very young where I did not understand the volatility of my words. I've never called a black person the N-word. But I have used it in hatred when I was younger.
Do you think the
I
N-word is
learned.
one of the rights that we should advocate for when we go to advocate for our rights, for human rights? Do you think the N-word is on our agenda?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know how to answer that question. I think it's a word that has a lot deeper meaning, and that and I understand it on a deep level of why I shouldn't say that. I don't know how to articulate that to my white friends that try to use that, other than, hey, that's fucking racist, shut the fuck up.
So you have white friends that use this word?
Yes. I have white family that uses this word. Like, I can only cut people off so much, you know?
I have a question for you. And it might be maybe the most uncomfortable question you've ever been asked. But on TikTok, we're not in person. You don't have to feel like this is backing you into a corner. There is no right answer to this question, okay? So no one's going to judge you. There is no right answer to this question. I'm saying that now. So don't feel like you have to pick a politically correct answer. All right. So based on your friends that say the N-word and your family that says the N-word, right? If everybody, based on, you know, how your experience has been with these people that use the N-word, if they had to choose one button that would silently, painlessly disappear all black men, and another button that would silently, unpainlessly, no pain, they just disappear off the planet, would make all black women disappear. they had to choose one button to make black men disappear or black women disappear. Which one do you think these family and friends are more likely to pick?
I think it depends on the gender, and it'd probably be a 50-50 split.
Which one do you think the men would pick?
Men.
Okay. And which members in your society are more powerful, the men or the women?
The men.
Okay. All right. Thank you
Very
for coming up,
patriarchal.
Noob. Okay. Thank you. We're going to go to the next guest. Appreciate you, Noob.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. Tino, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Long time no talk. I am 27. I am African with an American citizenship. So I don't know if you want to call that African American. If you want to call that African, you can call
No,
it whatever you want.
what country in Africa are you from?
Zimbabwe.
You're Zimbabwe American.
Yeah, I'm Zulu. I go by him, or some people may call me Himothy, but this is my first time talking on this matter, and I wanted to sit down and really think about it, and really take my time with it, because I was born in Zimbabwe, moved here at the age of 4. So it's a great topic, especially in this climate. So, and I really sat down and thought about this. So I'm glad you had this live. I apologize if I don't articulate anything that I want to say. But I'm just going to say it out loud. Yes, you can be pro-black and you can date a pigmentally challenged person. The problem is the lack of equality when we're defining, in a way, pro-black. If we deny equality from our own people, then we aren't fighting a battle for equality. To me, it's a very fair battle of revenge. I talked to my mother the other day, and one of the things that I can say as a generation is, without a doubt, we for sure need to heal. We need to hug our brothers that want to date the opposite schmecks. We need to, in my own opinion...
What do you mean by that? The opposite race or the opposite gender?
Well, even in Zimbabwe, my dad couldn't come out in Zimbabwe, but when he came to America, he was able to come out.
Oh, so you're saying the same schmecks.
Correct.
You said the opposite.
Correct. And I'm saying we need to hug those brothers and support them too, because they're also our black brothers, but we should never look down on them based off of their preferences.
Can we keep it on topic? I hear you.
Okay.
So, big shout out to the same gender, same sex loving brothers out there, sisters out there. But we don't want to. If we stop at every intersection, we're never going to get where we're going. So,
and I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
But I hear you, and I think that's again the important part. But again, we need to, I think, support and lift, I guess, just the stigmatization. How women are just stigmatized in the black community as an older black woman. Unlike Megan Thee Stallion, we need a new twist on Tyler Perry movies, if that makes a perspective. Because again, something that's pop culture, something that's more recognized is Medea. And I'm just saying we all need to learn. Learning just really doesn't involve being pro anything.
We need to learn to love white people.
It's a very.
We need to learn. We need to learn to give them access to our bodies after 400 years, 500 years of them having access.
It's a very good perspective because. Right. And when we're defining pro-black, right, we're defining power structures. And so when it comes to dating within your own pigmentation, it's preservation. But then to me, it's also defining, you have control. What you brought up earlier, you have control in your choices, you have control in who you love, and you also have control within your own historical context. If I date someone that is YT, which I am, does that mean I can't support who I am. I can't support the black community. Does that mean I can't
Okay.
buy from
Support
black-owned
and being
businesses and give
pro-black are
them
not
more
the same
equity?
thing.
No, it's primarily a
Going to
balance in
black-owned
power
businesses
structures.
are not. I
But
feel
even
like there's
beyond
a
that,
maybe delay.
go ahead.
I feel like there's a delay. I feel like there's a delay. Maybe I'm having a delay today because
It's okay.
when I talk, I think it just keeps running. But anyway, supporting black-owned businesses, Bill Gates can do that. Would you say Bill Gates is pro-black?
So when it defines being pro-black, it's cultural pride, it's social justice, it's economic empowerment, it's community support, it's awareness and education, and the most important part, it's advocacy. When I'm dating someone that's YT, I don't see that as something that's just like an imbalance in power. I see that as an opportunity to really
Who are we advocating
expand. It's
to?
cultural expansion. It's expansion.
So can you tell me what is the benefit of black people collectively to culturally expand to a demographic that culturally steals from black people?
And I hear you. Like, there was a very interesting quote that I heard. Like, why would I weep about Trayvon Martin when the YT man, if anything, made my own brothers and sisters harm each other? And I hear that. And I'm not saying I'm dating someone that's YT. My partner is actually Chinese, if anything. And if you know about like what goes on in regards to labor laws, when it comes to factories, and even in Indian cultures, when it comes to call centers, they exploit all of us. I hate them all. I do not like any of the cultural suppression that we've all felt. It's disgusting.
Listen. We've already had the
listen.
multicultural conversation. Please, let's not go to expand. Like, you're all over the place, man. I'm gonna be honest. Are you high?
I'm not high.
Okay, you sound
I'm
like
more
you're
than glad
experiencing
to.
euphoria right now.
I am.
All right.
I am. And I, again, have just been proud of myself lately, but I will rephrase what I've written down.
Oh, sir, you shouldn't be proud because
I have a
prioritizing
lot to
everybody
learn.
else except your own people is
I have a lot
nothing to
to
be proud
learn.
of.
I have a lot to learn, and I hear you.
Well, then
And
don't
again,
be proud until you've learned. See, the
and
thing
I'm
is
African.
that
Well, we're always learning. Life is a long life learning lesson. Otherwise, then that's ego.
Family, listen.
That is
listen,
ego, brother. What you're holding on to is ego.
Family. It's not listen. It is not ego.
This
to
man's on
prioritize your
DMT
own
trip.
people.
It's not
Pretty
like
much.
you-
You're tripping, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, Timothy.
Yeah.
My bad. Timothy, my bad.
No, it's you can't possibly think that you are doing something constructive for black people by not prioritizing black people in every area of your life as a black person. There is no such thing as a we are the world approach. If technically speaking, that comes from the minds of YT men. And subconsciously, there's a lot of our African family that want to try and emulate them because they've had no choice but to be forced into a realm of permanent subservience to them. Like, for example, if you were born in Africa, you would not have this same process of thinking right now. You would be dating a sister. You would be, land and the people. Like that's the mindset that you would be a part of. If Africa had never been colonized, if Africa had never had the European transatlantic slave trade, that's the mindset that you would be in. So that's the reason why. That's an amazing point. Yeah. That's the reason why it's important to decolonize your way of thinking. And the only way you can do that is to unapologetically dive deep into the African ancestral knowledge. And trust me, the African ancestral knowledge don't have any books talking about, date whoever you like. And, you should probably procreate with anybody that even remotely shows interest in you. They don't say that, bro.
NEGUS. And I state that very very openly.
Yes, we've all heard Kendrick Lamar.
Right. But that's where I was just saying, like, it's a very deep topic to delve into, and it's a beautiful
It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's not that beautiful. You sound like you're high.
And I say
I'm about to go to the next guest, man. You sound like you're getting off to this.
Timothy,
it sounds
can I respond
weird,
to
bro.
Timothy?
Like, we're talking about black oppression, and I feel like you're sitting up here having a spiritual moment, bro.
I'm not going to deny it, and I just say that very openly. I say that very open-endedly because, again, I'm in the situation that I am in because of my life. I was born and
Because you did
raised.
not prioritize our people when you chose who you wanted to make a family
Because
with.
at the end
That's
of the day,
why
as
you're
a
in the
child,
situation you're in.
hear me out.
No, I'm not hearing shit out. I'm tired. All right, pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values. Get your weird ass off my shit, man. Prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building in the black community. That is pro-blackness. Prioritizing one's actions and values with what is in the best interest above self-interest because you thought she looked good and you can't control who you love, above the best interests of other communities because they're oppressed too, guys. We're all oppressed. No, prioritizing your actions and values with what's in the best interests of your community, black people. That is pro-blackness. Okay? That is Dr. Amos Wilson's Blueprint for Black Power. That is Malcolm X's Organization of Afro-American Unity. That is John Henrik Clark. That is Francis Cress Welsing. That is Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. When we prioritize ourselves, our liberation, yes, other people will benefit. But you cannot tell me that you prioritize your community, but you are also compromised from doing so because you have a non-black person in your bed. You've created a family outside the black community. So now you have a duality where you have to think not only for the black community, but you have to think of how to include people outside the black community in what you do. Because if you were to do something strictly for the benefit of black people alone, then those you hold dear might suffer. It compromises you. All right. I'm sorry. He was being too euphoric. It was really getting on my nerves. We're talking about people that have been oppressed for 500 years. Have some respect. All right. Maija, Autumn, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I am 34. I am black, and I guess my pronouns are she and her.
All right, talk to us.
So, I'm kind of torn on the subject, and I believe I'm torn because to me, how I got introduced to the pro-black community is kind of like from an intellectual standpoint. And when I say that, see, my background, I grew up in, let's say like majority white communities. And it wasn't until I went to visit my father, who lived in a majority black community, that I started to see the real difference and listen to him. He was very pro-black. To me, like, I felt like growing up, he should have been a Black Panther. So how I was being raised was complete polar opposite. Like, I was just intermixed with everyone. And for me, starting to understand pro-blackness and even having conversations like that were when I came around other black people that hung out with majority white people. Like I said, I have a different story if no one knows what I'm talking about. But
I'm trying to be careful with the anecdotes, to be honest, because it gets us to a really subjective place and to a limited perspective of just, things that you've been through that none of us can verify. Can you, I don't know, maybe bring it back a little bit? Like you're saying you met black people later on and they were pro-black, I'm assuming?
correct. I think it's, to me, what I'm saying, I think it depends on your radicalness, and it depends on how you got to be that way. Like I said, I got there.
Do you think pro-blackness is radical?
It can be. Not always.
Why? How is it radical?
And like I said, it can be neutral. It can just be how you live
Do you
your
know the
everyday
story
life.
do you know the story of Moses?
Yes, I do. I'm quite familiar.
Would you say that the story of Moses was radical?
I mean, in that day and age, it was.
Would you say that Jewish people, wanting to leave Germany and go to their own land was radical? Or a land that they claimed is their own, of course. We don't want to get into that conversation. I'm just using examples of other liberation struggles. Some that have
Is it
been...
radical? Was a necessity. I wouldn't say. I mean, in a way, it's radical because they had a,
Do you know what drapetomania is?
about it.
Have you ever heard of
What's the word?
drapetomania?
No.
Drapetomania. Drapetomania is a word that describes what. Well, basically, there was I think it was a psychologist during antiquity. No, not antiquity. During antebellum, the antebellum South. During slavery, and he basically said that black people that wanted to run off of the plantation had a mental illness called drapetomania. Like they were crazy for wanting liberation.
I believe it.
You can look this up.
I believe you.
So when people say being pro-black and black people wanting to liberate themselves, it's so radical. Whoa, they want to do things in their own best interest. Meanwhile, the Asian community does things in their best interest all the time.
I mean,
The Jewish community does things in their best interest all the time.
I don't
The white community, do you think when they were building America, they cared about how this was going to affect the native population? And whoa, we got to make sure that we're thinking about, everyone else. Like
not at all. No.
when other races do what they got to do for their people, it's not radical. But when black people talk about it, it's instantly, whoa, you crossing the line there. Whoa,
What I mean by radical is like how outspoken are you about it? How into it are you? Are you pro-black where you see a black-owned restaurant, you tend to go there. You see a black community event, you tend to go to it, or are you outspoken about it? Are you anti-white in a way?
Anti-white?
I think there's a balance to it. So
anti-white? You think pro-blackness means anti-white?
It can.
How has anti-whiteness affected the white community? Please let me know, because if you're bringing that up in this conversation, it must have done some damage and been an important nuance that we need to add to the conversation. What has anti-whiteness done to the white community? Please.
Nothing.
Okay, so that is not something we need to even bring up. Like that's just a way of
what I'm saying in the wrong point of view. But basically, Let me just get to my point here. I think the more that you are aware, the more statistics you know, the more you've actually personally experienced, and the more outspoken you are about it, is whether you can make an interracial relationship work. Now, if you're somebody who you see it on TV,
making a relationship work and whether or not that relationship is pro-black are two different things. So saying that it can work, yes, it can work. It was working on the plantation. There was plantation owners having full-blown relationships and I don't know if you call it pseudo or just like faux marriages with their enslaved women. Yeah.
I don't call that a relationship.
So,
I call that survival. But again, like what I'm saying, I think it depends on the individual.
That's interesting that you would call that survival. That's interesting that you would call that survival. That is very interesting that you would call what happened on a plantation between a slave owner and a slave survival.
What would you call it?
Excuse me?
I'd call it a word that TikTok
if
flags
I
all
were
the time.
If I were to not me, let me use someone else because I'm gonna say this weird shit. If person A were to be involved with child B and do things that are quote unquote romantic, would you say that child was surviving?
No, I mean that's a different scenario. I mean, in a slave plantation point of view,
It's
they
not
considered us
because
to be
no. All right, listen, man. I hate it when y'all don't just answer my question and start going back to your point of view. Like I don't know. I think I have a delay on my mic today. Like everybody got to just answer my question so I can make my point. Like I get you're going to try to defend yourself, but let me make my point. What I'm trying to is show you what you just said was wrong about survival. Because there's a power dynamic between a slave owner and an enslaved person. So that power dynamic puts one at an ability to take advantage and puts another at a disadvantage. The same way an adult, the adult is at an advantage to take. The adult has the ability to take advantage, and the child is at a disadvantage. So, in the institution of racism, in the institution of slavery, we have to understand that it wasn't a matter of survival; it was further subjugation that was going on. To say it was survival means that you know nothing about the breeding plantations of Virginia and the breeding plantations all across the United States. You know, how do you say that that's survival? Your turn to talk now. Or we can move on. I don't know. Right. Someone said it in the comments. That was great.
Your question with a question here, but I'm kind of forced to in this situation. If you refuse to sleep with your slave master, what would happen to you?
Then you'll sleep with the fishes or the worms.
So when I say survival, that's what I mean by we did that because it was survival. If we refused, we would be killed.
No, but survival is a choice, and that's where you're wrong.
Okay, I see that. Look, sir, I agree with you. I like what you're doing. I think we're kind of saying the same thing, but coming from different points.
No, you got a snow puppy, don't you?
I've had one before, but that's not.
But that
I have a different perspective.
It's an open issue for you.
Becoming more aware of Black issues is why I don't have one now. Becoming more aware of my history, my past, and different things is why I evolved with it. So that was the whole point I was trying to make here.
So then why are you caping for it then?
Let her talk to Timothy. Go ahead, Auntie.
Well, I never finished my point of view. I never finished what I was saying.
Well, what is it? I love to hear this.
What I'm saying is people evolve. People change every day. So can you be with somebody and start off your journey of being pro-Black and be with a white person? Of course. But in the end, could you be pro-Black and be with a white person? The answer is no. But I never got to finish what I was saying. I was getting there, but I went into a different situation.
So that's your point?
In short, yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Timothy. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Timothy.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. What you said is that the more that you are learning about the history and the more that you are tapping into the scholar's knowledge, the more that you are gearing away towards or gearing away from dating within that demographic. And that tells me very clearly that, okay, that it's a good thing that you're tapping into the knowledge and the resources, but that also tells me very clearly that you need to tap more into it. Like, there's a lot that needs to be addressed. There's a lot of books that need to be looked into. There's a lot of scholars and lectures that need to be looked at. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing in particular, Dr. Amos Wilson in his book, The Psychology of Self-Hatred and Self-Defeat. There's this book called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health by Dr. Rita Walker. I mention these books all the time because they are crucial in understanding these dynamics that you're talking about. And, we can already see very clearly that being in proximity to them in and of themselves very much so is clear evidence of a psychological desire to attempt to be a part of whiteness. And that also goes hand in hand with a very clear indication that there's a lot of self-hatred present. Whether people want to admit that or not, oftentimes people don't like it when they're being critically analyzed. They don't like it when people tell them very specific things. It's like, but, hey, listen, if the shoe fits,
I think
and if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's a duck.
Too quick.
And the issue is that
sometimes I think sometimes things are a byproduct of where you live and how you were raised.
Well, that's okay. It's interesting. It's interesting that you say that.
And where you live and how you were raised is white supremacy.
Yes.
At the same time, do your parents not say, "Oh, we're going to put them in a good school. We're going to put them in a white school"?
My mother did, and I went to a Catholic school my entire education. And I know if you can't use my comb, don't bring them home. So
Exactly.
that has nothing to do with it. And my mother didn't even go to high school.
That was your experience, though. That's not everyone's experience.
But you just said
No.
how you were raised and whatever. My mother was the smartest woman I have ever met.
You low key kind of disrespectful. I mean, honestly, I'm sorry, I mean jump in, but you trying to low key be disrespectful by what you just said, because you're trying to act as though, oh, if you aren't raised in certain areas, then you don't have the correct education, or you don't have the intellect to understand what I'm saying. I am trying to explain stuff to you. You literally sat here and tried to justify graping on a plantation as survival, and then you tried to flip the pancake over and say, well, nah, you can't be pro-black and stuff. Pick a side. I don't know who you're reading, but you need to actually, like the books that Timothy just suggested, you need to start reading that, because I don't know who you are reading or who's educating you, but you need to dive way, way deep, because like the stuff you saying is like, it's weird. I'm sorry. No disrespect, but it is.
You're not the only person who feels that way, but I really think what it is a
sister,
connection, a lasting
sister. The problem is that, all right. So you said that your proximity essentially kind of dictates certain things. You said that, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously. The reason why I mentioned the book Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health is because psychologist Dr. Rita Walker talked about that in the book. She specifies that she chose very, very deliberately to move herself as a black woman, her black children, and her black husband to a predominantly black neighborhood, because she noticed just how much not being around your own people plays a direct role on whether or not a black person has a positive association with their blackness, with their Africanity. And the reason why that's also important is because in her studies and in her research and even in her clientele, her patients, she's determined that, and also based off of the research, she has shown a clear indication that people of African ancestry that do not have a positive association with their blackness are more likely to self-unalive. So that in and of itself tells me that there should be no person of African ancestry living in predominantly white spaces. There shouldn't, especially not a black person that claims to be pro-black. Like, obviously we have to do what we have to do depending on the circumstances of, what's going on with our lives personally. So no shade, no tea towards our African family that live in spaces that aren't predominantly black. Because obviously, again, we got to do what you got to do in order to survive, in order to live day by day. But making an effort to move around your African spaces, making an effort to be around your African people shows a clear indication of self-love, but also an appreciation for your blackness, a appreciation for your own people. But dibbling and dabbling with the other community, expecting them to, after thousands of years, all of a sudden grow empathy as if it hasn't been bred out of them for thousands of years ago, like that's just not going to happen. You're expecting a demographic of people who are literally, genetically can be linked back to not having that level of empathy, and you're all of a sudden expecting thousands of years to just no longer be a factor. Like that's a real thing. And also the past few centuries, they've been desensitized into thinking that black people, for some reason, are not human, when in reality, we are the most modern Homo sapiens on the planet, which does make us the most human. But, it sounds like you want to hold hands with them or make space to be able to hold hands with them, which lets me know that you have a lot more tapping into in order to get out of that. It's decolonizing that you have to pursue. And decolonizing means separation away from the colonizer.
All right, are we finished? We done? I want to go to the next guest. Y'all, I got a lot of co-hosts up here. All right, in free, what's going on?
I'm finna drop.
All right, thank you, Sister Stella.
What's
What's
good?
going on?
Good.
Peace.
All right, I'll introduce really quick and then I'll get to it. My name's Free. I'm 19. He, him pronouns. Black, obviously. Well, not obviously because you can't see me. But can you be pro-black and have a white spouse? No, and I can tell you I've actually come up with, or not come up with, but realized a couple other reasons that I haven't stated. And another one is you may be putting your Black offspring in direct danger by having a YT partner. One of the reasons I personally don't date YT people is because there's so much vetting you have to do to make sure that they are not anti-Black in any way, shape, or form. Then you got to make sure their family aren't anti-Black in any way, shape, or form. It's so much work just to date somebody, just to make sure that your offspring or your community will be safe around them. And you can actively be putting your community in danger by dating this person, because now you're trying to merge your community with their community. And a lot of times older white generations are not so keen on mingling with Black populations. And that can cause violence. That can cause upheaval. Like it's not just something that you can blend in with no work and expect to go smoothly. And not to mention, when you do go to prioritize your community, when you do go to prioritize the things that your community needs and have these separate safe spaces, your partner is going to take issue with that. Your partner is going to see it as an attack on their whiteness rather than you trying to protect your Blackness. And so I think like it's too complicated of a situation at this day and age to be able to be pro-Black and have a white spouse at the same time, because there's going to be some sort of conflict of interest eventually. So the fact that you oftentimes cannot get just non-Black people, fuck white people, or not like that, because I don't want to get this place taken down, but forget white people in this situation. Even with non-Black people, it can be hard to get them to understand why you would prioritize your community without explaining it in a way that serves other people. So just imagine how difficult that might be to explain to a YT partner who has been genetically and ancestrally used to having access to your people and your commodities and your production. Like, it's going to be a lot more difficult of a process to get acclimated and to have that understanding. And again, there will be a conflict of interest eventually.
Okay. I would say, just add that any white person that you try to vet is going to be racist in some way, shape, or form.
And that's what I mean, is that like,
yeah.
that vetting is so complicated because many, if not all white people have some sort of racial bias or racist beliefs that they may not even be aware of, that now I have to come in and school you on, when you should be doing that work on your own. Like, having a Black spouse does not make you less racist. It's only going to exacerbate that issue because you're inflicting that suffering onto somebody else.
The vetting process itself can be dangerous. Is what I'm trying to say.
No,
yeah.
I 100% agree, because you still don't know what you're getting into, and some people
you're still holding on to the white Jesus belief that the white being defined in the dictionary as innocence and purity and goodness and
right, giving them the benefit of the doubt when they've done nothing to earn it.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, right, pretty much.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to the next guest. Ashley, give us your age, race, and pronouns. Ashley, give us your age, race, and pronouns. Ashley Reed.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, couldn't get my mic on. I got it on now. Age 48, race Black, pronouns he, him. Before I answer the question, I just wanted to ask a question, just to get a better understanding. So listening to the conversation, what's the end goal of being pro-Black?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is the end goal or the end game to being pro-Black?
Did you say you was Black?
Yeah.
If you don't know that answer, then you can kindly step down off my lap.
No, I'm just trying to give you a answer, because with my travels, I was in the military for quite some time, and I just want you to understand why I asked that question. And I know people have different reasons why they claim to be pro-Black.
I want to know if people, hold on, I need a break from y'all coons, man. I want to know if people really thought like during the Holocaust, if Jewish people said, man, I don't know, man, they're not really feeding us, making us work from sun up to sundown, and putting us in chambers, and unaliving us left and right. What is the reason we're pro-Jewish? Like, what's even the point? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, were they on the concentration camps arguing with each other? Like, man, what's the purpose? I mean, like this is mental illness, and it's coming in here back to back to back to back. Like, I'm not sure what's going on today, man. All the pro-black Africans, are y'all asleep? Where y'all at? Where y'all at, man? Why am I on here, right, doing mental gymnastics? I feel like we keep getting Simone Biles in here, man. What's happening today? What's happening? Like, we cannot be serious, bro. Like, we can't be serious. If I bring up, I don't know, redlining, people know, that's something that affects black people. Police brutality. Yeah. When I bring up all black oppression, people will even acknowledge that exists. So what the hell you think pro-blackness is for? Like, I mean, it's not strictly for black oppression, but it is a form of liberation for us to empower ourselves, to build a black power base, so that we don't need to rely on the people that oppressed us for 500 years in order to have power, in order to have resources, in order to raise our families, to keep the fathers in the home. What are we talking about right now? It's like people are coming up here playing with me today. I'm not sure. Like, it's just like black liberation is like some joke, and we're just up here just talking about Sports Center or something. What's happening right now? I'm confused.
The devil is busy. Devils. That's what they are. And brother, like he said, anybody black that can't even, that we got to go around the barn 5 times. If you're in the military, I would assume then you're going to say you've traveled and you've seen people all over the world, and and I'm sure you've seen anti-blackness all over the world too. What is the point? What is, like the brother just said, what is it that we have to, I mean, what else can white tea damn people do to us that they haven't already done that will keep us from being Coonesians? I don't get it either.
But also, it's very interesting to ask what the purpose of pro-blackness is when the definition is in clear view on the screen.
Yeah, that is wild.
What is the end game of YT supremacy? What since you're caping for it, what's that fucking end game?
Right. I don't think they having that conversation. Guys, man, what's the point of exploiting Africa, man?
As long as they can swim in some milk, honey, it's okay. Just like that sister that just dropped. You want a snow puppy? Go get one. And if everything that makes you a black woman keeps you from one, what's wrong with that? We act like it's something wrong with us if we don't want to be around their asses. Mm-hmm. Like we the ones with the problem, not them. It's us. Well, why can't you just, what is your end game? To live in fucking peace? That could be one thing.
Can we have that?
Are we
worth it?
You know what I find really interesting about conversations like these two is that coming from specifically a therapy standpoint, it's gaslighting. It is pure blown gaslighting. It is emotional manipulation. When someone says, hey, I would like to have this boundary because you have hurt me time and time again, and then you act like they're the problem and they're being dramatic and they should want to spend time with you, that is gaslighting. That is emotional manipulation, and it is coercive. It is meant to make you abandon your boundary to benefit the other person. So why are we even feeding into those ideas? Why are we even trying to play devil's avocado? No, stop giving that man savory fruits. He has enough. I don't understand why we would do this when we already recognize that this is a harmful behavior in regular relationships, but especially when you're talking about oppression.
It's intergenerational trauma. Period. Right. Most of us, the brain always seeks pleasure. The brain always tries to get away from anything harmful or hurtful. Okay, that's just how human beings are wired. Howsoever, some of us Coonesians, that we don't want to have to deal with the pain or understanding of what we're talking about. So let's just do, we love everyone. And then I don't have to face the fact that, I'm in pain or that bad things have been happening to me for centuries. No, 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 no. Let's not do that.
Absolutely. Not only is it coercive, but the way that our people have done it, or had to do it rather, it's a defense mechanism. We're constantly at least from what I've noticed, a lot of times when Black people start like sharing those views in front of particularly non-Black people, it seems like a safety thing. Like you kind of see the entire non-Black group gunning for them for a moment, and then they have to clarify like, oh no, I love everybody, da 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 da. I just want to, protect my community for this and this and this, and then we'll have these resources. And again, they continuously have to explain it through the lens of serving others in order to get non-Black people to understand. It's like, y'all don't like us, y'all don't want us around you.
Oh, she must have got a call. So go ahead, brother. I just want to hear it. I just want to hear it. Just go. I just got to hear this one.
But yeah, no, it's inherently coercive. It's inherently manipulation.
Just real quick, I just wanted to share a trauma moment. Whatchamacallit?
Yo, that's hilarious.
Oh gosh. Yep, perfect.
Oh, damn.
What is that?
I didn't a big screen. I like putting that on there when someone says something crazy or when I'm waiting to talk.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well,
Like, as we speak, literally seeing two families strolling out of the place I'm parked in front of. Literally talking about the same thing. It's the same exact thing. And guess what? Both of them were the brothers that divested from the community. And this is something that is happening far too often. There's too many brothers that are way too willing to cape for the Beckys. Now, that's definitely not all the brothers, because like we know before, of Black people that do get married, 85% of the brothers get married to sisters, and 93% of the sisters get married to brothers. So, and also we know that based off of reports involving dating, that we are choosing each other in the majority of the cases. But what is happening is that we're starting to see an increase in the divesting happening. And if we don't nip this in the bud immediately and decolonize and actively work towards educating ourselves out of the miseducation, then all you're going to see up here is a bunch of Coonesians coming up with all types of nonsense, all types of gymnastic efforts to try to get us back into, to try to get us to cape for the oppressors. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. It literally only makes sense to a person suffering from Stockholm.
That's all I'm saying. The oppressor will take care of them so they can cape all day. As a matter of fact, please, like I said, we got to clean the gene pool. So you did us a favor because your ass is weak. So go be with another recessive person. And that's fine.
It's insane.
It's fine. Well, he still ain't said nothing. We trying to give you an opportunity, brother, to say what you had to say.
I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't realize.
Oh no, not you. I'm talking to the Ashley, whoever
Ashley.
it is.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was very confused. My bad.
Oh no.
I think we said enough.
Go get you a cup of water. See. Did you drop him?
Yeah, we got 3 people waiting to come up here. And
okay.
I think that question was enough. Like that question was like, what do you think the point? Like, what's the end game? Like, I can't, man. I can't. It makes my stomach tight.
Also, somebody had a really good point in the comments, and that was, how are we supposed to have an end game when we've barely begun? Like, we've barely begun our own, like, construction of our own Black safe spaces and our own communities. How can we have an end game? We just started, dog. Like, give us some time first.
I mean, I'll be honest, there is an end game. I mean, we do have an end game. We didn't just start. We've been doing this for thousands of years.
We really have.
Yeah, there hasn't always been a name for Pan-Africanism, but the action of being a Pan-African is something that goes back deep in African history, ever since the Eastern slave trade began. Yeah, we the end game is a power base outside of the United States, a power base on the continent of Africa, where we'll be able to, create our own military defense, create our own banking system, our own economy. Same thing everybody else has, but in Africa, like that's the end game.
Literally, just to be treated fairly on our own lands, to have our own resources on our own lands,
with no outside influence.
Right, with
That's
no
it.
outside influence.
That's it.
That's simple.
Just get away from y'all YT asses. That's the end game. How about that? Can you understand
the end
that?
game is please leave us alone.
Right.
Except that please is a little. We're gonna defend ourselves. We will fight.
And where that white girl? I saw that in the comment legend. Her talking about, I love white black men.
Girl, I had to respond to her and be like, that's fetishization, love, especially when you say it like that.
They just can't stop. Sam, I am.
Fine.
Yo, what's up? My name's Sam. I'm 18, and I guess I go by him.
Okay. Your race?
Oh, I'm white.
All right. Talk to us, Sam.
Honestly, like this whole live is just promoting segregation and anti-interracial marriage. So, honestly, I feel like you guys are just racist, trying to disguise behind pro-blackness.
I actually think that YT people have higher concentrations of Neanderthal DNA, making them less modern Homo sapiens sapien. What do you got to say about that?
Dog,
What's your end game,
actual scientific
Sam?
basis for, unlike a lot of racial theories that your people came up with. It's always so interesting the fact that YT people who have literally caused our oppression want to come in and say that we're being racist when we want our own safe spaces away from you. That's gaslighting. Why are you coming in gaslighting a bunch of people that your ancestors not only oppressed, but that you still benefit from that oppression? If anything, you should be coming in willing to listen and learn, but instead you come in to invalidate our experiences. It's weird. It's giving that you're trying to flex some sort of weird power over us. It's weird. I just want you to stop doing odd shit.
Girl, they never gonna do that. So who cares about? He still got breast milk on his breath. Girl, bye.
The breast milk, because he did sound French 18.
He does. I mean, that just cracks me up. If you want to keep getting you a black woman that'll let you, Lord help her. But go right ahead, little boy, and see what your parents, your corporations, you'll do it for the moment because it's cool. But then once you get out in corporate America, once you get, dealing with your family, dealing with life, period, it's going to be another story. That's why I just don't trip. Gonna be young and dumb and full of you know what.
It's also funny because they'll fight so hard to get in our bed, but when we're actually like fighting for our rights, like when the Crown Act was, like, for example, they'll fight so hard to wear box braids, but when the Crown Act was being passed, where were you? Did you show up to the sit-ins? Did you show up at any protest? Did you help us accomplish that at all? No. Y'all don't help us.
Them to.
Absolutely. They never help us, or they rarely ever, quote, they only help us to alleviate our oppression to make themselves feel better. And then they expect us to give them everything we have. Absolutely not, bitch. Go away.
Just go.
I heard that.
The milk off your breath.
I don't know about you, brother, but I'm tired. I'm so tired right now from this nonsense. What's going on with all of this? My head hurt. I'm literally, my body is shaking. That's how irritated I am right now with our own people. I mean, I'm just sorry. I'm cool. Like, wow,
Mm.
y'all need to
I
pick
think
some
it's the
books
full
up.
moon, y'all.
Nah, I'm outside. I don't see it.
It ain't? Oh, okay.
Nah,
Usually when people start getting crazy, it's a full moon.
nah, this just some tomfoolery, and I do mean some
Oh,
tom
girl.
turkeys up in here.
Well,
Like,
I
there's
got
some
my
real
cry
tom.
today, so I'm good.
I don't need to cry. I'm good. I'm straight. I definitely ain't got no tears. It's just it amazes me how many they coming up one behind the other and the other and the other, and like, dang, did somebody send out a coon light patrol light?
Right, like a
And
mass email or something.
you know how like Batman got the signal? Is it a coon signal being sent out? Is there like
Well,
what
that
the
black
hell?
hat about to get thrown up tomorrow, so maybe that's it.
Good grief, Lord! I mean, ooh, brother, I'm sorry, because I honestly, it just was irking my nerves. I hear the frustration in your voice, and I'm like, brother, you sure you don't might want to I don't know, go take a breather,
Yeah, that's what I said. Go get some water. Get
cause
hydrated. It's hot today.
cause this I know if it's working my nerves, I know it's working your nerves. I'm sorry. Hey, it
They
is what it
silly.
is.
Like I said, wait and see what that white woman gonna do for you, or the snow puppy. What he gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but let me make room. I just came because I think what's his name? Somebody was in the thing saying they didn't wanted to get up here, so I'm just gonna step down and because somebody's talking nonsense in the comments. Back to it. All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
All right. User 81263, whatever. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please. User, whatever your name is, man. You've been coffee mug the whole time. Are you here? I don't think so. They don't even got a profile picture. We're moving on. All right. Who else wants to come up? Send up the requests. Let's get back to the topic, man. Can you be pro-black and have a white spouse? Can you do it? Is it possible? How is it possible? Let us know. Prioritizing one's actions and values with the best interest of empowering the black community. Can you do that? Can you empower the black community by sleeping with the oppressor? At the same time, can you liberate your people by laying down with your oppressor during your oppression? Is it ethical to even do so? Is it ethical? When that happens, is there a Pan-African pro-black revolutionary out there that can stand 10 toes with our community and still have to protect his fluffy powdered donut back home? Is it safe for the children? Can you raise pro-black children with a white parent? See, man, there are a lot of people in here that's pro-black. They just ain't in the comments. Big up to y'all, man. I see y'all down there, man. I see y'all. We're not here to gaslight. We're here to validate y'all experience. We seen what happened to Sonia Massey. Justice for Sonia Massey. Justice for Sandra Bland. Justice for all our fallen soldiers. Free all political prisoners. Come on now. There's been a war on African people. Peace, Detroit. What up, brother? There's been a war on African people for 500 years. And instead of doing what's necessary for us to liberate ourselves, we can't even convince y'all to stop loving your oppressor. We can't even stop and just think for ourselves for one moment without having to make room for those that have colonized, exploited, and destroyed our community.
You know, and if I may, this topic often reminds me of a particular show that this topic often reminds me of a particular show I used to watch. I don't know if any of you have seen the show Steven Universe, but there's the main protagonist, Rose Quartz, who is actually an oppressor in disguise, and she has a friendship with a very black coded character named Bismuth. And Bismuth suggests the idea of, in universe, it's called shattering, but it's basically their equivalent of unaliving their oppressor. And because the leader of this rebellion was an oppressor, she had them basically imprisoned for thousands of years because of that. And we see a lot of similar situations happening with pro-black people dating white partners and then them being in direct danger from their partners for supporting pro-black ideals because there is now a conflict of interest. So it's like this scenario has played out time and time again. It's kind of almost a feeling of like, when are we going to learn from this experience?
Well, most of us have learned, some haven't. Like I said, it's them suppressing and being fearful, and they rather give in and go along to get along than to get what they know gonna come if you fight against it. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really letting fear dictate your decisions, which I understand is very easy, right? We as humans are either designed to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And for many of us, that aversion to pain is what's driving our thought process. But at some point, we have to put that fear not aside, because healthy fear can be helpful, but at least kind of not necessarily, I'm trying to find the right word for it because it's not put it on the back burner, but I guess rather strategically implement it so that we can know what we're going to come against when we do act out.
Well, everybody black has a choice to make very early on. Are you going to fight the power or are you going to go along to get along?
Basically, yeah. Can you be pro-Palestine and marry a Zionist? When we put it in context of other people's oppression, for some reason, the line gets de-blurred, and we can see what the issue is. Can you be pro-Palestine as Palestine continues to face oppression from Zionists? Can you be pro-Palestine and marry a Zionist? Let's ask Comrade. Comrade, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hello everyone. I'm 24. I'm black. He, him.
All right, talk to us.
I saw the prompt. I mean, I've seen this prompt a few times on lives, but I would swipe past it. I mean, I'm in an interracial relationship, and yeah, I mean, I saw someone in the comments say cognitive dissonance, and that's probably what it's been, no doubt.
So you would say you're a victim of cognitive dissonance?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So you know better, but you don't do better. Why is that? You sound like you're in a dryer machine.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying.
You sound like you're in
a lot.
Sounding like I'm what?
Making a lot of background noise.
Oh,
so
yeah.
what is your issue?
That's my son. It might be my son. I have to hold my son.
Oh.
Well, then there you go.
So are you still with this YT person?
Yeah.
Are you married?
Mm-hmm.
Is your son with her?
No. What do you mean?
Like, is your son's mother white?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go again. So, would you consider yourself pro-black?
I mean, I did until I heard you guys explain it. And I saw the screensaver.
Do you believe that interracial marriages are unethical?
I mean, I've never thought so. I never even seen a reason why. What would be a reason why?
Well, usually what makes a relationship unethical is the power dynamic. Do you believe there's a power dynamic between black and white people? Do you believe that power dynamic exists? I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, man, please come up here when y'all got time. Like, if y'all are babysitting, got your baby sucking on your phone and all that, like, don't come up here, please. Come up if you're in a quiet space. You know, you got time to talk a little bit, and then come up here. You know what I'm saying? Put the baby down. You know.
Ooh, child. Oh, the snow bunnies and the snow puppies.
Hello. My pronouns are it's. My age is 23. What else did I need to say?
Race.
And my race is black.
Identifying
So
Never mind.
I think that you can be pro-black and have white partners or non-black partners in general. And I mean, we were talking about the comparison between can you be pro-Palestine and have a Zionist partner, which no, you can't. But you can be pro-Palestine and have a Jewish partner who is also anti-Zionist. That's where the difference is.
Not really.
So
I mean, for real.
That's not how that works, Kitty Pop. That's not how that works. Just all right. The issue is that can you tell me in what instance prioritizing what's within the best interest of the black community, like in what way dating outside of the black community means that you are now prioritizing what's within the best interest of the black community? Like, how does that work?
For one, there's so much wrong with this because the question is, how does dating a white person, what does that have to do with the black community?
Everything, because
And it did say
the reason
spouse,
why.
so we're talking about marriage here,
Yep.
not dating.
Exactly. And it has everything to do with the black community because unfortunately for the past few centuries, what's been happening is that they have forced themselves onto our ancestors. And now we all exist here today, right? We think that we can get into consensual relationships with them. But the problem is that we live under the constructs that were literally designed using the forced enslavement of our ancestors to create racism, white supremacist constructs, and societal norms that we all seem to accept as normal today. And then, because of that power dynamic, there is no way for you as a black person to consent to a relationship with a person that benefits from your unaliving or your oppression. So it doesn't make sense what you're trying to say because the facts contradict what you're trying to say.
I feel like you said a lot of nothing.
I feel like you said a lot of nothing as
Okay,
well.
so here's a
because
way
the issue
to
is that you're disregarding
try
the
to
facts in
understand
favor
it.
of your personal opinion, and you don't like the fact that I'm checking you on that. So that's the reason why you felt as though what I said was nothing.
Well, I thought this was just a conversation, not like you guys had a set opinion and I was supposed to be debating you.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to step away for a moment. I missed the age, race, and pronouns. Kitty Pop, does your palm match the bottom of your wrist?
What? No, I am black. Would you like
Okay.
me to turn on my camera?
No, I don't. Please. I can tell by the comments that you said something problematic. What did
All
I
I said
miss?
is that you can date white people and be pro-black.
Okay. And what is your definition of pro? What is your definition of pro-black, Kitty Pop?
Pro-black is prioritizing the needs of the black community and fighting for the needs of the black community.
Okay. So let's use your definition, right? Let's say the needs of the black community is, for example, in South Africa, where Europeans have colonized them and subjugated them to I'm sorry, my alarm went off. Yeah, so let's say in South Africa, where they've had apartheid and other systems of oppression, and where a minority of the population, only 7% of the population is European, but they own 72% of the farmland that people can use to, make money and have resources. Meanwhile, black people are largely impoverished. Let's say that those indigenous to South Africa wanted to liberate themselves from the people that came just to colonize and exploit their land. And, you, a black person, had to make a choice between siding with your people and kicking out the oppressor from South Africa or something else. What would you do?
I would prioritize kicking out the white people.
So you would in this scenario, you would end your relationship?
I mean, there are choices you could make. You could make the choice to leave with your spouse. You could make
That wouldn't
the
be
choice.
pro-black, right? Because now you're not prioritizing the community, you're prioritizing yourself.
How would? Okay, so your personal choices that you make, like your love life, what you wear, the way you do your hair, that has nothing to do with the well-being of other people.
Well,
Does that make
actually,
sense?
that's not entirely true, right? Because, for example, let's just continue using the South African example. If South Africans are saying, in order to heal this damage and in order to rectify the situation, we can no longer have white people in our spaces, and you are bringing a white person into the space, what you are then doing is, with your personal decision, you are breaking somebody else's boundary, right? And by doing that,
I
you are
just
having
said
a
that I
direct
would
negative effect on them.
I would prioritize kicking out the white person. I would never bring my white partner into a black space.
Okay, so then you would end the relationship.
Right,
That's not ending the relationship. You can still have a relationship with a white person.
Are you nesting?
While respecting the boundaries and needs of other black people.
Right, but that line
yourself would have to remove yourself from black spaces in order for you to be able to do what's within the best interest of black people, because you realize that you yourself are operating as a danger to your own people because you want to attempt to participate in the physical interaction with the very people that they themselves are saying they need to separate themselves from. So you wouldn't be able to participate in their spaces because, again, you want to prioritize that thing that you got going on with the oppressor more than you want to prioritize your own people, the oppressed.
The person you're dating is an extension of you. You can leave the person you're dating at home while you go to a black space.
No, but you would have to kick them out, so their home would be back to Europe. So are you going to be in a long-distance relationship with a European while kicking Europeans out of South Africa?
I mean, that's a choice.
So basically, Kitty, you want to operate as an agent.
We
You want to
live in
operate
the
as an
US.
agent
All
of
right,
white
wait,
supremacy.
hold on. So let's say you stay in South Africa, you send your hubby or miss, I'm not sure which way you go on that, but you send your white significant other back to Europe and you stay in South Africa. How does that benefit the community?
I'm confused. How does what benefit the community?
How does the act of staying with the white person while they're in Europe benefit the community? Because you said the community is your priority.
Not everything
So does it?
you do as a pro-black person needs to benefit black people.
Yes,
I
it
can
does.
eat a sandwich
No.
and
Yes,
I'm
it does.
sustaining myself, and that has nothing to do with other black people.
Well, you're black, right?
Yes.
And the black community would value you being an asset to their liberation, right? So you sustaining yourself would be in that instance in the best interest of the community because you're part of that community.
In that case, then me being in love and sustaining myself by having a white partner could be seen as.
Not really, when that white partner actively benefits from the oppression of the community in which you are a part of. So if my partner benefits from my suffering, right? That's not a healthy relationship for either of us, right? Either you have to induce your own suffering or you have to be okay with the suffering of other people, right? So regardless, that's not going to benefit your community because you still will have to experience suffering to be with this person, or your community will have to experience their boundaries being pushed for you to be with this person. And also, not to mention, a lot of white people hold racist values without realizing it. So the act of or not necessarily vetting, but just the act of having to school them on their own mind, that's already a lot. Like, you're already pushing a lot onto yourself as a Black person by taking on that, right? Because it's not your job to continue.
Part of it is having a partner who's willing to school themselves.
And that's what the fallacy in free of what you keep saying with schooling them and teaching them and all that.
I'm not trying to teach my partners. I have no interest.
I'm not talking to you, Kitty Pop. Please stop. The fallacy that we can change their hearts and vet them and find the good ones.
No, that's my point. That's my point. That's my point, is that it's a fallacy, because even when you find the good ones, they are still going to have racist ideals that they uphold, even if subconsciously. That was my point.
And no matter how much you teach them, they're still going to have that.
Right.
Because they didn't learn empathy by the age 15. They didn't learn the empathy required to be an anti-racist.
Are you guys...
So just admit you're not pro-Black. That's okay. Everybody can't be.
Right.
Do you? Get your snow puppy or snow bunny and hippity hop on.
Because it don't help. It don't help the community. You helping yourself. And now you're trying to compromise liberation by trying to find a way to fit them into it. So.
And for all those that say, well, I can be pro-Black because I can give money to my community, I can da-da-da. Well, then you sound like a white person. Jeff Bezos gave Van Jones $1 million or $2 million.
I don't really care about the money part. To me, being pro-Black is creating community with Black people and actually organizing together as Black people.
But so how are you gonna do
and
that?
That's made harder when there are white people in our midst, because let's say even if your partner is anti-racist, or is their family anti-racist? Are they going to tell their family about what you're organizing, right? It goes beyond just what your partner is going to do, right? It goes into their community and the fact that they still convene with other white people that might not share their views on racism, on pro-Blackness, on the Black community. And so by having them in our midst, or by, confiding in them what you are organizing, you can be directly putting your community at risk, because if they go tell somebody that they don't realize is against what we're trying to do, that could directly jeopardize the mission and building community. We've had that happen time and time again, where our neighborhoods and our towns were destroyed by loose lips. So, even if your partner necessarily isn't intentionally doing anything to sabotage that mission, them simply conversing with other people of their race on what we are doing could spell danger for what we are doing, because those people, there's less of a chance that they will be with us, and there's more of a chance that they will be with us.
I mean, the reality of the situation is that we have to interact with white people every day, even Black people.
So what? Yeah, not really, but so what?
But why would we continue to want to operate in a system where we have no choice but to interact with them daily, when we are actively trying to create a system in which we don't have to do that?
Thank you.
Why would we then choose to continue interacting with them when we know that our end goal is to not have to deal with them at all?
I think my end goal is not to not have to deal with white people. It's to
So you're not pro-black.
be able to have
So you're
That's
not
it. There
pro-black.
you go. There it is. All right.
Thank you.
We moving on.
Because
Love.
I'm sorry.
We already know, Winfrey. Thank
Okay,
you.
word.
Thank you. Love, give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Yes, I'm 27. I'm black and I'm she, her.
All right, talk to us.
Okay, so you cannot be pro-black and date outside your race. And the reason why I say that is because I stay in a predominantly white area. And I went to, I was trying to go to take the kids to the pool. And in order to get to the pool, you got to go through the community, like the community center. I went through the community center. It was nothing but white people. They all looked at me like they was having a 3KK meeting. And I got my kids and I walked out. But the thing I'm trying to say is they don't want us in their space. Why should we have them in ours? And like piggyback what you had said in free, we cannot, if you dating outside your race and we having, a black community meeting, we cannot invite them people. You cannot, I don't expect you not to go back and tell your white partner, what's been going on. That's your partner. I just feel like that would be a danger because that lady, that person that you with can go back and tell that person, which, like you said, it can destroy our community as a whole, our plans, our mission, our goals. And it, like you said, it have always been like that. They always have been trying to destroy us to where we let like those type of coon people into our spaces. And I don't think you can be pro-black and date outside of race.
Hey, we gonna give sis a standing ovation. My goodness. Oh my goodness. It's a breath of fresh air. Thank you, black woman. Thank you, black women. Oh my goodness.
My brother's a coon. He one of those.
Yeah, listen, I know. Stop saying the C word because TikTok don't like it. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we said that word a lot today. But at the end of the, thank you, black women. Oh my goodness, because the brothers been coming up here tripping. We had some sisters coming up here tripping too. I just, oh my goodness, today has been quite alive. But thank you for that breath of fresh air. Love Monique. Everything she said was on point. Appreciate you, sister.
No problem. Thank you for having me up.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Sister came up here talking with some saints. My goodness, thank you again.
Because hell, we have to watch some of our own at the meeting. So what in the hell am I going to bring a snow puppy, a snow bunny in there too? Damn.
Or anybody else for that matter.
I can't imagine us plotting our liberation and looking up at someone with blue eyes.
Right.
So,
Honey, what do you
think? I would feel in danger at the meeting. I'd be like, yo, what are you doing here? Like, I don't feel safe anymore.
All right, guys, on Tuesday the 31st, we're going to run away from the plantation. On Tuesday the 31st, we're going to run away from the plantation. Is that okay with you, Ken?
Right. It's African Americans and Mark, and we rocking with Mark because Mark is rocking with us.
All right. Nat Turner, and you know it was always one. It's always one. Every time. But see, like Farrakhan said, we got to start making them more afraid of us than the white folks. That's what's got to happen.
All right, y'all. We got someone new up here. Chris, Love, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Yeah, I'm 58 years old. I'm from LA. Yeah, I just want to say,
your race?
I'm black.
All right,
Pro-black.
talk to us. All right.
It's like asking the wolf to be among the sheep, but the sheep one of the sheep want to bring a wolf that he think he tamed. I don't see why this is really a question to be pro-black, pro-mean that you're 100%. But who is he? I never ran into one of these type of brothers that want to, or a sister want to bring somebody white around, because I hang around a lot of pro-black people. But I've never ran into one of these kind. I've been waiting to run into one so I could talk to them. I want to know how their brain work, because we already know how their brain work. I mean, maybe These type of people ain't studied the history of the Neanderthals or the Europeans or whatever we're going to call them, Tamu. Or what the ancestors who built pyramids, who did stuff we can't imagine. What they say, they brothers from out of Egypt, the ones who built the pyramid, I'm talking about the real dark ones. They call them Tamu. And Tamu mean a created one. We're not a created race. We come from a creator. They call him the created one. Who was they talking about the create? Who did the creation? Because the farther you go in our history, the smarter we was. The stuff that we built, the places we would go, the evidence that they found. Here's a people used to live in the barn. The king and queen used to live with the animals. We had to come to civilize them. The 800 years of the Moors, did anybody study that? Do our people study that? When we went to civilize them? Mother Nature tried to wipe them out twice. And we the ones stuck our foot into my mouth by the Moors going to bring bleach and keeping the bubonic plague from wiping them all out. We'll just stayed away from them. And these are people you want to bring them. And once we hooked them up, they came to kill us. They came to kill us and still doing it. These people is cannibals. If you study their history and go back up into the stuff what they written, the stuff that they said, they was eating one another up in Europe, man. And these type of people, they was eating us in slavery. What do our people study that mess with them? I don't understand that. What books do they read?
None.
We 9 ether. They 6 ether. It's like taking your rock waddle and marrying into a poodle and putting a poodle and a rock waddle have a baby. You will do that. When nobody black on earth do that, mix their poodle with a rock waddle. Well, it's worse when you mix your seed with them. We 9 ether. Your baby ain't 9 ether no more. You take it from the creator who gave your baby 9 ether and mix them with something that your ancestors created and make it what ether will be then. That's fur on their hair. That's fur on their head. That's not hair. That's fur. When you look at them, they have hair all over their body like an animal. The Neanderthal had monkey blood. This is what white scientists say. This is what they say. They all got together and proved this. And we want to bring these people. They are naturally ignorant. This is what their history say.
Where you at in LA, brother? It's hard to find them. I'm here too.
I live in Inglewood.
Do you?
I work
Okay.
and go home, and I stay in the house a lot because I don't want to do nothing and end up locked up because it's the worst time in history to be locked up in a jail. So I want to stay in the house, go to work, and deal with my family. And I'm studying with this African dude. He's a scholar from out of Europe. He's on YouTube, and I'm listening to some of his stuff because I've been reading. I did a lot of reading because I was raised in a nation. I did a lot of reading. Now you get to see the scholars who written the books on YouTube talking about it. I'm like, whoa, this is real cool. But back to what we talking about, I don't understand that. See, that's why I know something's wrong with the people. How are you gonna mix your seed with, like that? You wouldn't even do your dog like that. You wouldn't do your dog like that, man. But you'll do your own seed without even thinking about it twice. And these people prove that they out to kill us for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Look how they shooting our women down.
Brother Chris, you gotta say unalive. We on TikTok.
Unalive. I know. They banning everything, man. Because they don't want the truth out. They want to ban our history. They telling our kids that we was serving. We came over here as serving. I mean, we was servants. We was already here. I don't know what everybody believe, but I believe what my mother said her great grandmother told. I believe it 100%. Because we ruled the whole earth at one time. We had been left hundreds of thousands, millions of years ago. We've been took off and populate the whole planet Earth before anybody came here. Before any of these people was here. If you look at some of the ways the buildings was built in India when we ruled it, they got big old buildings. They don't know how they were screwed together. You have to look at the video and see because they still don't understand. It messed me up when I go there. What type of technology we had? These people had none. Everything they got, we taught them. Everything they have, we taught them. Study the morals in yours, you'll see for yourself. How did they catch the Black Plague? Because they hated cats. Because they knew in Egypt we had cats. And we knew what we talking about with cats. So the Pope told the people in Europe to kill, to kill the cats. The cats is evil. Whoa, 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 whoa. They killed all the cats and the fleas from them rats. The fleas from them rats what gave them the bubonic plague and the damn to wipe them out. But I'm trying to figure out why did our people, why we had to go back there and save them, man? Why did our people say how they was doing, want to go back and civilize them? It wasn't no scripture written to tell them who they knew who they were. They knew who these people, they knew they was Tamu, they knew who they was a creating one. Why did they go back and do this, man? It's like we stuck our own foot in our mouth, man. We created them. Now man, I'm really trying to study my people. The way we think, man. I think something's wrong with us. We created this. Mother Nature tried to wipe it out. Ain't Mother Nature and God is the same? Don't Mother Nature work with God? Or do they know about each other? Do Mother Nature and God talk? Mother Nature try to wipe them out. Try to wipe all of them out. Twice. And we went back there and saved them. We wonder why we living like this and this happening. They was killing us, eating us, raping us, all this they did to us.
All right, I ain't mad at Unc, but he keeps saying them words, and y'all gonna get me bananaed for a week, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Unc, man. Thank y'all for putting F1 in the comments to save the live. We feel him. He probably, don't understand the rules on TikTok. We can't say them words. You know what I'm saying? But that's factual. Listen, I think this is a good spot to end it all. I appreciate y'all, man. I think we had two pro-black brothers, a brother and a sister at the end. Let's leave it on a high note. You know what I'm saying? And thank y'all for coming through. Also, don't forget b1initiative.org. That's our nonprofit. Go there, donate if you want to join us and volunteer. Help us build Soundcopedia, an Afrocentric online encyclopedia. Basically, it's like Wikipedia, except you'll have all the knowledge of our scholars all in one place. There's no website out there like this. We're making history. We are making a website where you will be able to discover, learn, and unlearn your history. You'll be able to unlearn the history that's been taught to you, the indoctrination, and rather replace it with the true knowledge of our scholars and our ancestors. The work has already been done. The foundation has been laid. Thank you to Smart Sister, Timothy, and Enfree for joining me today. Don't forget to raise your voices. Some of y'all in here might be content creators. We ain't mad at you, Chris Love. We ain't mad at you, We ain't mad at you at all. You ain't got to apologize. You ain't say nothing wrong. It was just TikTok. They got rules, and they'll take down my whole account because we pissing them off. And we ain't mad, you know what I'm saying? We ain't mad at pissing them off, but come to our space, b1initiative.org, where in there, we can talk openly. We can talk freedom about protecting black women, about black men, and dismantling, unpacking rather, our anti-blackness, our self-hatred. We got to learn to love ourselves, love our black women, love our black men. And that's the way we move forward. That's community building, man, woman, and child. All right, y'all. Free Haiti, free Sudan, free the Congo, free South Africa, free Kenya, free Nigeria, free Jamaica, free black people everywhere, in Brazil to Florida to California to New York to Detroit to all over the world. Black people everywhere that are oppressed. We see what's going on in Kenya. We see what's going on in Nigeria. We see what's going on in the UK. If y'all don't know, the UK is going up right now. These people right here, real mad. They acting like they trying to cleanse out our people. So go do your searches and check out what's going on in the UK right now. Some really disturbing footage, so trigger warning, but there's a lot going on in the world right now. Black laws for black liberation for all black people. My name is Brother Legend. I'm here to raise your consciousness. As always, I'll catch y'all tomorrow.